Imagine your own mother calling to uninvite you from Christmas dinner, not because of a fight, but because your career as a public school teacher isn't glamorous enough for the guests. That's exactly what happened to me 6 days before the holiday. My sister was bringing her new boyfriend, a hedge fund prodigy, to meet everyone for the first time. My mom's message was short. Your sister thinks your presence would be awkward, given your profession. She wants the focus on her and her successful partner. I just said, "Okay, I understand," and ended the call. What they didn't realize was that for 2 years, I'd been the silent guardian of a $14.7 million inheritance, the very fund my perfect sister was relying on to finance her future. And when they discovered the truth a week later, desperately ringing my doorbell, the power dynamic shifted in a way no one could have scripted. I'm Elise Vance, 34, and this is my story. If this resonates, please subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. The call came on a Sunday evening in late November. I was finishing up lesson plans on the Gilded Age, highlighting a brilliant analysis from a student on wealth inequality. The irony, as I'd later realize, was staggering. Here I was, encouraging a student's insight into economic disparity, while my own family was about to enforce it. "Elise, honey," my mother began, her voice coated with that familiar, disarming sweetness that always preceded a demand. "We need to chat about the holiday gathering." I put down my pen. In our family, a request for a chat was never casual. "What's going on?" "Well, Amelia is bringing Julian to meet everyone. You know how crucial this is for her." Julian Thorne. I'd heard his name mentioned at least 100 times over the past few months. He ran a multi-million-dollar investment firm. He was, according to my mother, the catch of the century. "That's wonderful for her," I said, meaning it. I genuinely wanted my sister to be happy. "I'm excited to finally meet him." A longer silence. "That's just it, Elise. Amelia thinks. She feels it might be best if you joined us for dessert only, or perhaps another time." The words landed with a dull thud in my chest. I'm not following. "It's nothing personal. It's just Julian's world is. Finance, high-level networking. Your job as an educator, it's a bit. Well, it might send the wrong message about the family's caliber." My job, like it was some embarrassing hobby. "Mom, I have a master's in education. I've been shaping young minds for over a decade." "Exactly," she said, her tone sharpening. "A decade and you're still in the same pay bracket. Amelia is a VP now. She needs Julian to see us as peers, not people who worry about school budgets." I thought about the previous Christmas, how my mother introduced me to her friends. "This is Elise, my eldest. She's a teacher." The pause that followed was heavy with unspoken disappointment. For Amelia, it was always, "Amelia is in corporate strategy, doing wonderfully." I remembered the email from 3 months ago, asking for a contribution to Amelia's engagement party fund. "Since you have fewer financial responsibilities, we thought $4,000 would be a fair share." I transferred it without a word. According to recent data, teachers earn nearly 20% less than other professionals with similar education. I taught my students about that very inequity. I just never thought my own family would be the textbook example. "So what, I'm just supposed to disappear?" I asked, my voice quieter than I intended. "We're not saying that. We're asking for a little understanding, Elise, for one night. Please don't make this harder than it needs to be." Don't make this harder, as if I were the one wielding the knife. I looked around my modest apartment, the furniture I'd painstakingly restored, the stacks of books and student essays, the life I'd built, the one they found so underwhelming. "I understand," I said, 2 words I'd perfected over a lifetime. I understood when my new car, a sensible used sedan, was ignored, but Amelia's leased BMW got a parking spot of honor. I understood when my small raise went unacknowledged, but Amelia's office renovation was discussed for hours. I understood when I was cropped out of the family holiday photo because it just framed better without you. I understood everything. "Good, I knew you'd be reasonable," my mother sighed with relief. We said our goodbyes. I placed the phone down and sat in the quiet, watching the last of the daylight fade. My student's essay still lay open, a testament to fairness and dignity. Then I opened my laptop. There was a folder, untouched for months, labeled simply Grandma Rose. Inside was an email from a lawyer dated November 18th. It was about the annual review of the trust that held nearly $15 million. I had been avoiding it, avoiding the weight of it. I closed the laptop. But that night, for the first time in years, I didn't feel that familiar ache of sadness. I felt something else. A quiet, gathering stillness where my patience used to live. The next few days, my mother's words echoed in my head. The wrong message. Your career choice. I stood in front of my history class, explaining the labor movements of the 20th century, and I felt a strange kinship with the workers fighting for respect. That night, I thought about the future. If I accepted this, what came next? Easter. Elise, Julian's family will be there. Perhaps you should sit this one out. Amelia's wedding. Small ceremony, very exclusive. I'd become a ghost at my own family's milestones. And financially, the pattern was clear. The $4,000 for the party, the $2,000 loan for my dad's new golf clubs, never mentioned again. My money was seen as communal, my life as less deserving. If I stayed silent, the requests would only grow, and I'd keep paying for a seat at a table that was never truly mine. Then a text from my father. Sweetheart, I'm sorry about the holiday. Your mother thinks it's for the best. Love you. I stared at it. My father, 65, a lifelong bystander. He'd never defended me. He always said he loved me, but love without action felt hollow. Instead of replying, I opened the email from the lawyer. Dear Ms. Vance, as per the annual review, the Rose Mitchell Irrevocable Trust holds assets of $14,720,000. As sole trustee, you have full discretionary authority over distributions. Please confirm your intentions for the upcoming fiscal year. $14.7 million. Amelia was the sole beneficiary. I was the sole controller. My grandmother had chosen me for a reason. In one of our last talks, she'd said, Amelia has never learned the value of $1, Elise. You can teach her that. It's the only lesson that will stick. I'd kept this secret for 2 years, wanting a relationship based on love, not leverage. But now, freshly uninvited from Christmas because my salary was an embarrassment, I was reconsidering. This wasn't about revenge. This was about boundaries, accountability, and the right to exist without apologizing. I had held this secret for so long. Maybe it was time to let it breathe. Christmas Day arrived, cold and quiet. I woke early, made coffee, and deliberately avoided thinking about the family gathering happening 20 miles away. I graded papers. I read. I made myself a simple dinner, the saddest holiday meal imaginable, eaten standing at the counter. At 8 p.m., my phone buzzed. A text from Amelia with a photo. Missing you. Julian loved Mom's cooking. He says we're such a classy family, lol. The image showed everyone at my parents' large table, smiling. 4 place settings. No empty chair because they'd never set one for me in the first place. My mother wore the expensive earrings I'd bought her last birthday. And in the background, on the buffet, was my grandmother's antique silver tea set. The one she'd promised to me, because I was the only one who ever helped her polish it. I set the phone down, then a text from my father, same message. Sorry, love you. I typed and deleted 3 replies. Sorry wasn't a seat at the table. I called my friend Sarah, a fellow teacher. Please don't tell me you're alone, she said. You should have come to my family's. We have enough food for a small army. I needed to process. Process what? Your family being awful, that ship sailed. A pause. What happened? I told her about the photo, the text, the smiling faces arranged without me. She was quiet. Elise, when are you going to stop accepting this? You pay for their luxuries, you show up when they snap their fingers, you apologize for existing. What am I supposed to do? You have options, you know you do. I knew what she meant, the trust. I never wanted to use it as leverage. I know, but there's a difference between leverage and accountability. Your grandma saw your strength. Maybe it's time you saw it too. That night, I read the trust document thoroughly. Section 4.2. The trustee shall have sole and absolute discretion to determine the timing, amount, and conditions of any distributions. Sole discretion. Absolute. I thought about my grandmother's words. One day you'll understand why I chose you. You're not powerless, Elise. You never were. I closed the laptop. I wasn't ready to act, but I was ready to stop pretending I had no choice. The next morning, I called the lawyer, Ms. Anya Sharma. We met at her office. She confirmed the details. My authority was broad, nearly unchallengeable. Your grandmother was very specific, Elise. She wanted you to have the final say. She felt Amelia needed guidance, not just a handout. Ms. Sharma also mentioned a separate bequest for me, $60,000, which I'd been quietly donating to a local children's literacy charity. You're listed as a founding patron for their annual gala, she said, handing me an invitation. The gala was the next night. The same event Amelia and Julian were attending to make their debut as a power couple. I hadn't realized the timing. I looked at the invitation. For 2 years, I'd attended anonymously, donating and leaving quietly. My family thought I was an embarrassment. They didn't know I moved in their precious circles, just from a different door. The next afternoon, my doorbell rang. My mother, Amelia, and my father stood in the hall. My mother pushed past me. We need to talk about Grandma's trust. They knew. Julian's financial advisor had done a background check. Imagine our surprise, my mother said, her voice icy, to discover a $15 million trust with Amelia's name on it and you in control. You. You're the trustee, Amelia laughed. You the teacher, this has to be a mistake. My mother produced legal papers. I've had our lawyer draw up documents to transfer control to me. It's the sensible choice. No, the word was firm. Grandma chose me. The trust is legally binding. Amelia stepped forward. You know nothing about money. You ride the bus to work. I know you were hired at Julian's firm as a favor, Amelia. I know about the shortcut interview process. She flinched. My mother's mask slipped. Elise, you're being selfish. This money is for Amelia's future. Do you want to ruin her happiness? I'm doing what Grandma asked. And what's that? Ensuring the money is used responsibly. You're embarrassing us again, Amelia hissed. You'd have embarrassed us at Christmas if we'd let you come. I thought of all the years of absorbing these insults. I thought of my grandmother's hand on mine. You need to leave. Elise, I'll be at the literacy gala tonight. We can discuss this there. Amelia laughed. You weren't invited. Actually, I was. I showed them my founding patron badge. $60,000 in donations over 2 years. They send me a VIP invitation every year. The silence was immense. In 30 seconds, I'd shattered their entire perception of me. My mother recovered first. We'll discuss this at the gala. They left, my father lingering for a moment before following. I closed the door, my hands steady. Tonight, they'd see me as I really was. The gala was magnificent. Crystal, champagne, and Boston's elite. I arrived in a simple but elegant dress, but the gold founding patron badge on my chest was the most valuable accessory in the room. I stayed near the stage, talking with foundation directors. At 8 p.m., I saw them. My mother in navy silk, my father uncomfortable, Amelia radiant in a designer gown, arm in arm with Julian, a handsome man with an air of confidence. They hadn't seen me yet. They were working the room, performing. Then Julian noticed my badge. He was scanning for major donors and his eyes landed on the gold letters. He said something to Amelia. She went pale, but he was already moving towards me, pulling her along. Excuse me, he said, extending his hand. I'm Julian Thorne. I wanted to thank you for your incredible support of the foundation. Your contributions are remarkable. Thank you, I'm Elise Vance. The name registered. His eyes widened slightly. Vance. As in Amelia's sister. He turned to Amelia. You told me you didn't know the woman with the patron badge. I didn't recognize her. The lighting. Julian's tone cooled. Your sister has donated over $60,000 to a cause I deeply support and you didn't recognize her. My mother materialized. Julian, darling, have you seen the auction items? Mrs. Vance, he said, his social mask in place but strained. I was just thanking your daughter for her philanthropy. My mother's smile froze. My daughter, Elise. She's apparently been a founding patron for 2 years. That's more than most corporate donors. Julian looked at me. I was told the Vance family would be here, but your name wasn't mentioned. I'm not often mentioned, I said quietly. Julian, Amelia tugged his arm. This is family stuff. It's complicated. What's complicated? Your sister is a major philanthropist. 15 minutes ago, you told me you'd never seen her before. Julian, please. What else haven't you told me? Ms. Sharma, my lawyer, appeared beside me. Elise, so glad you made it. We're still on for Monday. We have a lot to discuss regarding the annual trust review. Julian's attention sharpened. Trust review. Ms. Vance manages a substantial family trust, Ms. Sharma said smoothly. With remarkable diligence, your grandmother, Mrs. Vance, made an excellent choice. The Rose Mitchell Trust is in very capable hands. Julian stared at Amelia. The trust you told me was being handled by some estate manager. Amelia was speechless. If you'll excuse me, I said, turning. Ms. Vance, Julian's voice stopped me. I apologize for any part in this confusion. He looked at Amelia with dawning disappointment. I left them there and walked to the bar. For the first time, they'd been forced to see me clearly. The tables hadn't just turned, they'd been flipped. Later, Ms. Sharma found me. That was quite something. I told her my decision. I want to defer any distribution for 12 months, and I want Amelia to complete a certified financial literacy course first. It's what Grandma would have wanted. She nodded. I'll have the documents ready Monday. And I want Julian to know the full truth about the trust, not to sabotage them, but so he has all the information. Reasonable. Amelia found me then, alone and furious. I hope you're happy. Julian wants to rethink everything. The engagement, the wedding, because of you. No, because of the lies you told. I was just there when the truth came out. You ruined my life. I corrected a misunderstanding. If your life was built on a lie, that's on you. You've always been jealous. Amelia, I'm not punishing you. Grandma loved you. She wanted you to have the money, but she wanted you to be someone who deserved it. Take the course. Prove you can handle responsibility. I hate you. I actually hate you. I know, but my job isn't to make you love me. It's to honor Grandma's wishes. She walked away. My mother approached. Elise, you've gone too far. Have I? What about banning me from Christmas because my job is embarrassing? Is that what family does? She had no answer. Mom, I'm not starting a war. I'm just stopping the invisibility. I belong in this family as I am, or I don't belong at all. My father appeared. She's right. We both stared. She's right. We've treated her terribly. I saw it and I never said anything. I'm proud of you, Elise. I just nodded. My mother, calculating, said we should go. Yes, I agreed. This isn't the place. I left the gala feeling free. The fallout was swift. Julian took space. By Monday, their engagement was on hold. Her job at his firm became untenable, and she was quietly let go. My mother's social circle buzzed with the story. The embarrassing daughter was the talk of the town. On Monday, I signed the deferral documents. Ms. Sharma said, your grandmother would be proud. She wanted growth, not punishment. Amelia texted, fine, I'll take your stupid course. Don't expect thanks. I replied, I expect results. My father sent a long email apologizing for a lifetime of silence. The foundation invited me to join their advisory council. I accepted. A few weeks later, on a snowy December evening, I hosted a small dinner. A few friends, some colleagues, and my father. My mother had asked to come. I said no. Not yet, I need time. She didn't argue. That told me everything. My father arrived with wine, looking around my apartment. It's nice, Elise, it's you. Dinner was warm and imperfect. At one point, he caught my eye and mouthed, thank you. Amelia texted during dinner, Merry Christmas, I'm trying. I showed my dad. He read it. She means it. The course is harder than she thought. I texted back, I see that, Merry Christmas. A door left open, not wide, but open. After everyone left, I sat alone, looking at the Christmas lights in my window. The past month taught me that boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection. My grandmother had given me the tools, knowing I'd need time to find the courage to use them. You're not powerless, she'd said. I believed her now. I'd keep teaching because it mattered. My job was never the problem. The problem was people who measured worth in dollars. I looked at the old family photo from Christmas, the one with 4 smiling faces and no empty chair. I didn't delete it. It wasn't my story anymore. It was evidence of a version of my family that no longer existed because I'd stopped pretending it was acceptable. And that's my story. If you've ever had to draw a line with people you love, you're not alone. Drop a comment and tell me your thoughts. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to Winds of Thought and hit the bell. Thank you for being here. You deserve to take up space.